This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Good morning and welcome back to Farm Factor on Ag Aim in Kansas. I'm Conrad Cabus. In this segment, we'll talk about the legal side of food production in the United States as it pertains to the Our Town, Our Food event in Kansas City. Shook, Hardy & Bacon is a law firm and was ranked in the National Law Journal as the 87th largest in the United States. Some of their cases represent agriculture-related cases with clients involved in the industry.
Hi, my name is Ann Havelka. I'm a partner with the Kansas City law firm of Shook, Hardy & Bacon. I'm part of our agribusiness practice, which means I represent food companies from farm to fork. So basically everything from production through new product launch, labeling, recalls, FDA inspections, supply contracts, through retail. We really represent the industry and do as much risk management on the front end as we can, and then solve problems on the back end with litigation if we need to. Most of the agribusiness community is regulated, whether by FDA, USDA, FTC, EPA. It's a highly regulated environment. So we help companies figure out what their regulatory constraints are, what they can say, what they can't say, safety measures they need to have in place. And with that overlay, we can do a lot of risk management on the front end. So we can identify problems before they become a problem. And if there's something on the back end, for example, a recall, an inspection that doesn't go so well, we can help them solve those problems on the back end.
Food companies today face greater scrutiny of their product labeling and advertising by regulatory agencies, consumer groups, and several other sources. The result has been a dramatic increase in class action lawsuits, a trend that will likely continue as the Federal Trade Commission and Food and Drug Administration take more active roles in assessing food labeling and advertising.
So food labeling class actions are a big thing right now for industry. The classic example is all-natural litigation. So, for example, you'll see in a lot of food products it'll say all natural or made with all natural on the front of the package. And what plaintiffs' lawyers are doing is essentially walking up and down the aisle of their grocery store, seeing the all natural claim on the label and turning it around and checking out what the ingredient statement is. All natural is not an FDA regulated term, which means that there is no safeguard, there's no definition that a company can rely on. So everyone has kind of their own idea of what that means. And what plaintiffs' lawyers can do is say, my client, this consumer, had the expectation that all natural meant there would be no synthetic processing, or there would be no GMOs, or whatever the issue might be. They can really kind of make up whatever they want, and it's everything as common as citric acid in products to canola oil.
Corporate farming is a term used to describe companies that own or influence farms and agricultural practices on a large scale. Some consumers in the United States often misinterpret or are unable to understand how bigger agricultural firms operate.
A lot of people will talk about big ag versus small ag, and I think there's some distrust about big ag. But the reality is big ag is made up of a bunch of people going to their jobs every day, people who've gotten an education to create safe, healthy food for a large population. I'm very privileged in my job. I get to talk to food scientists and learn about why a certain ingredient might be in a product. And I would just encourage people who have questions about their food to dig deeper and truly ask scientists in the field what is in their food and why, as opposed to just reaching out and Googling something on the internet. And we were talking today about the importance of consumer choice and how local food is very important, slow food is very important to a large portion of the consumer body. But the issue really is that safe, healthy food should be a right, and at this point it really is a privilege. So we can be talking about whether GMOs are safe or whether we want to have organic produce in our grocery stores, but some folks are still struggling to find that fresh, good produce in their grocery store that they can afford. So all the discussions we're having regarding what is an appropriate product, that's all from a position of privilege. We're privileged that we get to say that and not just be demanding food in general. We can also demand an elevated level of food.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.